Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the end of what we could call our bridging week as we move into the thinning of the veil. You've probably noticed a lot has been going on this last week with the solar flares, the thinning of the veil, the collective chaos kind of upticking as we all move through deep cycles of releasing what we can no longer take with us moving forward into the leap of 2022. Many people are getting anxious, frustrated, overwhelmed, even angry and resentful as they have to confront their grieving process and letting go of their comfort zone, everything that was familiar, everything they believed that they resonated with, everything they believed they wanted, everything that they believed was right and truthful. And as they go deeper through this spiral process and realize that those were only snippets of could-bes, of truths, of everything, as we go deeper and deeper into being able to see the full scope of things that we have yet to fully realize, the mysteries, as we often say. We go through a bit of a grieving process, grieving the death of our old self, our old perspectives, our old beliefs, our old desires, so we can open space into the new. So anytime we go through such a pivotal and transformational cycle, it's always incredibly important that we raise our self-care and our energy management protocols. Because this in-betweening, where the veil is very thin and when we're going through such a huge transformation process, we're very susceptible to outside influence as our energy wanes going through the purges and the shifts, because our body is going through so much. Our mental emotional states can be triggered as we go through the grieving and the purging process. We're not quite able to get our footing. We don't feel very stable quite yet. We haven't firmly grasped everything mentally and emotionally. So during these cycles, we need to take the utmost care of protecting our energy to ensure we don't experience psychic attacks from the collective chaos, entity attachments, hooks, bindings, or any other forms of energetic manipulation that can begin to influence us mentally, emotionally, and physically. So, some good signs to pay attention to that you really need to up your cleansing game. Feeling really negative out of the blue, having an emotional dip, especially when you have a lot of negative mental chatter that's very cruel and judgmental towards you or towards others. Your emotions are manipulated. You go into anxiety, stress, emotional outbursts. You have nightmares, bad dreams, panic attacks. Feel there is an unseen presence around you and it's just not right. It might even give you the creeps, make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. You hear knocking, footsteps, doors opening and closing. Feel cold spots. You have trouble thinking, have brain fog, unexpected pain, especially in the neck, shoulders, or back. You have trouble taking action. you accomplish very much, and you don't take care of yourself. You find that your personal hygiene, your self-care is waning. It becomes more difficult to take care of yourself. You feel tired and cold often. You can feel them on your body. You feel like there's a little bit of a fog. You begin self-isolating more than would be your normal, consistent habit. Some people are introverts. They tend to be more isolated. But this is when your behavior starts changing. And you have anxiety popping up, almost like you start to get agoraphobia, where you don't want to go outside. Your mind starts thinking of terrible things that might happen. You have trouble getting along with other people. You seem to trigger them. They seem to trigger you. Quite often, fights break out. Everyone feels like they're walking on eggshells. Of course, suicidal thoughts or tendencies can be an indicator if you're not prone to mental illness. You tend to dive deeply out of the blue into addiction of any kind. You can smell sulfur, struggle with depression, anxiety, manic, depressive mood swings. Unexplained blocks in your colon are very common for entities. It's where they kind of like to hang out. You have unexplainable heart palpitations. And again, these are out of the blue. Heart palpitations are pretty common with energy spikes. So feel into it if it's a health issue, if it's an energy spike, or if it might be associated with an attachment or a hook. You have compulsive thoughts and can't let them go. Interference with appliances, computers, your business, things that you need to get done when you're on a deadline. You find that despite your best efforts, you're not energetically getting the results that you should be, considering the time and energy you're putting into it. And much more, but those are some really big red flags that we need to watch out for, because that means that we're experiencing a tremendous amount of interference. So throughout the duration of this MP3, we're going to go in and transmute, clear, raise the vibration so that you will release not only entity or spirit attachments, hooks, binding, but any black magic you may have accumulated throughout lifetimes from people, dark groups trying to slow you down, especially as a light worker. That's actually pretty common, especially in past lives. Curses, hexes from the evil eye. Evil eye is just an energetic of, basically most of the time it happens from someone being jealous, and so they will just send you kind of bad mojo. And if you just so happen to be low, as I was saying previously, especially considering everything that we're moving through, or you're sick or anything, it's really easy for those energetics to come in and start creating little problems here and there the longer that they sit. So we want to clear them out, because often when people get well, after a little dip, they don't go in and do a really deep clean on their energy just in case they picked anything up. So that's the purpose of this MP3, is to go in and do a really nice deep clean of all of these different situations that may have accumulated, you may have picked up, especially as our energy kind of begins to wane until January, going through all of these late processes. We don't want anything to slow it down. So you can use this MP3 as often as you feel called. You could even use it once a day in the morning to just, kind of keep everything running smooth, just to be on the safe side. You can play it on silent. It's energetically infused. And go about your morning practice of meditating, showering, running, whatever it is you do in the morning to prepare for your day. and it will just ensure that your energy is cleansed, blessed, and protected. So you can just get about the business of creating infinitely without any blocks or deviations or distractions. This MP3 has also been infused with the rune Teresa, also known as the Thorn. It is a protection rune when wielded within a balanced energetic. The Teresa rune power helps us release subconscious anger, violence, aggression, anywhere that we go into shame or blame because we're not being in our power, we're not being the responsible creator that we are at a soul level. So when reversed, this rune helps us be in a defensive energy rather than an aggressive energy. It protects our energy from people that are being aggressive, that want to do us harm. So it's a rather controversial rune, but when balanced and in the hands of someone that uses it and wields it properly to go into their own subconscious imbalances to release them, it becomes a very powerful defensive energy ally. So use this as often as needed to keep yourself protected and clear. Much love, many blessings, and